Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Midwest F1 League. We are back with Miami Division 1. Come on, we can get through this together. It'll be a fun one, hopefully. And if you are new to the league and have no idea who this voice is, then it is Crash McQueen. Up on your board, you see the Division 2 Drivers' Championship there. Bob Yates leading that. Josh SR5 and Electric Blade in third. Helg is actually up in Ferrari. First time back in Division 1 for many, many moons. Looking to try and have a good old time here. Representing the Scuderia. Just waiting for, I think, one more. I believe it's one more, and then the lobby will get underway. But still plenty to discuss. I mean, like, there's so much to talk about. Like about how Jordium, he's 13th place. That's one thing. Slayerized is 9th. That's another thing that we left out to discuss. That's about it. Okay, on to constructors. Ferrari leading the way, 810 points. That is like 5 times at least. Maybe 5. Is it 5? 500, 5 times 6. Almost 5 times more points than Mercedes. You can say that, almost 5 times. The Mercedes, you can see they're on the struggle bus. And then some. Needing to figure that out. McLaren second, Alpine third. And we'll check out Division 1. And we'll stick on the Constructors' Championship side. McLaren leading there. The Merc's doing a lot better this time around. Ferrari as well in the 3rd place. Alpine and Haas. Williams very close to Haas. Alfa Romeo. They'd be on the bus of the struggle variety. We shall pull up the schedule for everyone. You can see there, check your calendar. It is Miami. And then Brazil, Imola, and Monaco. Some fun tracks to take place. But okay. You see who's back in D1? Yeah, Helg. He killed Matt Rosier just to get that seat. That's kind of messed up of a commissioner to do. Alright, Division 1. Edwin on the hunt to race day Scornsey as well in 3rd. Hoxton having a solid season so far. And as well Saiyans with the newly promotion up to Division 1 with the surprise retirement of Cake. I haven't read too much into that, so I don't know exactly what the reasons is. All I can say is that it's going to be weird not seeing Cake Thomas in the Red Bull, and he will be missed for whatever reason it is. At least I'll miss him. I don't know. I can't speak for everyone here. T-Brum still with next to no points. I don't even know if he's still racing. Let's see. Alfa Romeo team. He's still on the Alfa Romeo team. They have yet to replace him, and he's yet to replace himself. Shelly the Turtle as well. Not having a good time. Nikki, Houdini, VTEC, Gunner, Lancy. All these drivers not having the best of ventures here with this game. But, thankfully enough, we don't have too much of it left. The lobby is finally up and running here. 19 drivers makes it. We have one driver missing. Seems to be a Aston. No, Aston's there. Ferrari, yep. Alfa Romeo. Of T-Brum. Ah, okay, well, there we go. That answers that question. If you're curious on what track we're racing, it is Miami. It's in the title there. If you're... Maybe do your research before you start asking questions like that. It's in the bloody title, so no one asked it, but gotta bring attitude. The Gig 1766 follow 10 minutes ago. Appreciate that one. And the cars are just about to start exiting the garage, and we might as well jump on board with one of them is. How about a fun old Scavney? Let's see what Scavney can do. He's raced this game before. He's played F1 for quite a few years now. He's been in the Midwest for quite a few years now. A couple of years, actually. Miami, Miami, Miami. 'Tis an interesting one, to say the least. Fun little concept. This kind of reminds me of Vietnam, that turn there. Get little Vietnam flashbacks. Only ever had that in for one game. Yeah, I gotta watch that. And the run down by all the palm trees as well as the off ramp. That looks to be nice stadium off to the left of you. That'd be where the pit lane is. But we'll actually send it around Miami here. Entirely on board with the man Scavney himself, putting the foot down, and his hot lap is underway. Breaking into turn one, extending the line, maybe too much there. Getting up on the curb. In this game, it's tough to keep the car on track, as it's happened with quite a bit of drivers so far this season. That section definitely reminds me of Vietnam, actually. And here we go. Just finishing up Sector 1. Scavney with no surprise personal best. I don't know why I have to make that joke every qualifying, but it is done. Yellow in Sector 3. Hard brake. Swooping short but long right. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And here we go. Up and over. Watch for that. Keep the car on the ground. Swing around. Maybe take a little bit more of that. And then put the bloody thing right to the floor and see how fast this bad boy can go. And this would be a DRS section, and you can see that with the back wing open. Cannot read the Bibbit text. It's cut in half, and there we go, finishing up our final couple turns here. Swinging around the final one, and up and over the line. Scavney at 129.332. We'll see Helg quickly dispatch that, as well as Lancey decide to dispatch that. Alpha Tori, no, nothing there. What about Sharia? He will go third. Shelly the Turtle. Shelly goes second. Dusty Lusky. Dusty goes quickest. Got Palmer. Followed by Race Day. Got goes quickest. Race Day, followed by man back up in Division 1, Sayains. Race Day going quickest, Sayains into the pit. Scornsey starting his hot lap. I imagine so. Yes, that is true. Is that Edwin? He's invalid, impossible. Setting one there. Scavney back around. And then who do we got? Let's ride on board Scornsey all the way through then. I don't know if I remember this correctly, but it seemed like Scornsey was a lot more tame than Scavney going through that turn there, really opening it up. Putting the pedal down, as they say, into a nice break. Hitting that double apex quite nicely. A little bit technical. Bounce, bounce, catch. There you go. Caught a little bit of the curb there. You saw Scavney completely avoid it before. And now it is Scornzy's turn to put his foot through the floor. Oh, my God. Itchy nose. There we go. Believe we're better there. Don't miss your breaking point. A little bit of a glide and slide. Go Scornsy. And here we go. Up and over the line, and Scornsy goes third. Behind the two McLarens. You got a Bacon. Bacon's actually on the mediums. I didn't know Scavney. No, Scavney was on the mediums too. Oh, no, that wasn't Arrow. No, not Grim. Okay, so Arrows are next. Let's get a little bit of a scenic view here. And Arrow goes fifth. Not bad at all. Gunner. Guinea. Miss racing in this league somewhat. Yeah, I mean, you're not missing too much this season. This game is just it was just so fun. Grim Reefer. I mean, my hats are off to all those that are competing right now, though, because, I mean, a lot of people complain about the struggles of this game and the dislike. Hoxton, not too bad, 8th behind Shelley. Shelley's initial score is still holding strong, as well as Dusty Lusky, who's only been pushed back 4th. Pretty good. I believe Sainzia invalid. He must have done that really early. Houdini starting one. Helg on 3-lap old tires, so he's finally going to come into the pit. I didn't even know that he just kept driving around there, but hey, to each their own. That's why I'm in the booth and he's in the car. And Shelly firing one up. Shreya firing in it. Gunner. I think he's going to be in the pit. That was a pretty decent in-lap, though. I'll give him that. Pit. Houdini. No. Lusky. Starting one. Shreya. No, I lied. That's Lancy. Starting one. Alpha Tori of Graham Reefer. Finishing up on his time initially. Coming back around, nearly out of fuel, and he's going to go 12th. And now we've got Scav still on those mediums. No, he switched over to the softs. And he goes 7th. Improves on some time. Bacon improving as well. Arrow dives into the pit. Houdini finishing. It didn't catch if he improved there. I imagine so. Oh, Edwin, is he finishing that now? Yes, he is. Might make a return in the next game, maybe after a season. Yeah, a lot of people are on the same boat as you. Edwin going 4th. Now pushing Shelly and Dusty down. Shelly going 5th. What am I saying? Shelly just jumped up to 5th. Nikki starting. Got Palmer into the pit. That leaves us with Houdini. Lied. Dusty Lusky improves, but not on position. Lancy in 5th, getting an extra spot. Scornsy is lining one up. Race day as well, lining one up. So we'll check out on Scavney. What are you doing here, Scav? Coming into the pit, my guy? You're low on fuel. I believe you're definitely into the pit. That leaves us with Bacon then. Bacon's into the pit. Houdini into the pit. Did it even feel like we even got any laps? Helg starting one. It seems like everyone's just starting one. What is going on here? You're into the pit. Everyone's into the pit. Some chaos down the back straight there. Asayin's on an out. Shelly on an in because he just set one. It's invalid anyway. Sharia on an in. Is like no one doing anything right now? Nikki, he's on an. He would not have that much ERS. He is on an in. So we're looking for Houdini, Dusty. We've just gone through the whole field and no one's done anything. No one's doing anything right now. Did it even seem like any time was set there from anyone? But we can get on board with Scornsy because we know he's doing something here. Currently up on his time. Take a peek at race day. Didn't catch the sector split there. Just hope the cars are better than these. These cars just had no confidence really in the corners, just driving on ice. Yeah. I hear they're consistently inconsistent. Scornsy going second. Race day should improve, yes, into the 126s. Yeah, it just seems like, yeah, a very, very select few are enjoying this game. And typically you can tell from their positioning being far higher than any other games. Helg improving. You're sitting in 9th. Sayins. Where can he go? 4th. Good shot. Pretty decent time. Helg Hawksid. He's up on his time. Won't exactly climb the ladder with this unless of a major mistake in the 3rd sector. No, I don't think league racing is ever going to get back to the COVID racing. That was some of the best of racing, some of the funnest of times. I mean, it doesn't have to, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. Those were better games, too, to play. So, we had the whole F1 esports in general seemed to have a little bit of a tail off. But we shall see. We shall see, mon chéri. Shelly, warming up the tires for those that do not understand what he's doing. That'd be tire warming. Tire warming as well from Palmer. Okay. Oh, and Palmer spins in a really poor time. And he'll be able to get around it with one more attempt. Oh my god, my freaking nose. What are you doing, Shelly? You're on one. Who's behind you? Someone's on the chase. There's that wing. Shelly just getting that. Slow it down. And here we go. Saiyins calls it quits. Shelly improves. Edwin churning his final attempt. Nikki tightening up and goes 15th. Hoxid, Lancy, don't know. Race Day firing his up. Scornsy firing his up. Palmer firing his up. Scavney firing his up. Let's go. Dusty. His final shot. Yellow in Sector 1. That's going to stay there forever. We have no idea how long is left on the session. I don't see why they can't just leave a bloody time. Okay, 42 seconds. Helg. Starting his final. And here we go. They're going to start coming over fast and furious. 30 seconds left in the session. No one should be able to get it come around. Unless Bacon, I think Bacon may be able to, allowing Hoxid through. Hoxid rushing to the finish. He will be able to get around and start one more. Does have the low fuel warming. And Bacon's actually into the pit. He could have had the opportunity for one more attempt. Chose not to there. Shelly is done. Lancy, Sharia, invalid. Arrow. Toast. Lancy now. Catching a bit of that wall. Or you fly down to Nikki afterwards. Lancy going 5th. Nikki done. Race Day. Improving. Scornsy saying no bueno. Palmer into the pit. Scavney goes 10th. Helg his final go. Currently up on his time. Looking to potentially get into 10th. Can at least get 11th over the line and lost it all in Sector 3. God damn, man. That's unfortunate. And that leaves us with Dusty Lusky into the pit and qualifying over with Hoxid going invalid. I think we're waiting for Lusky to car to get in the pit there. What happened in the Toronto game? Florida won. Florida leads Toronto 2 buzz. Wow. Wow-oo-wee. Race Day fastest. Scornsy 2nd, Palmer 3rd, Saiyins 4th, Lancy 5th, Dusty 6th, Edwin 7th, Impossible 8th, Shelly 9th, Scavney 10th. GSR Hoxid, Aero Racing Design, Helg, Sharia, Nikki, Grim Reaper, Houdini, Gunner, Callie, Rob. Okay, so let's ask Snapchat AI here. Who is going to win Midwest F1 D1 race tonight? See what they say. I'm sorry, but I don't have any information on Midwest F1 race that's taking place tonight. However, I hope it's an exciting competitive race. I wish all participants the best of luck. That's soft. That's soft. Who you taking? Race day, or score and Z? Or I gotta throw Edwin in there. Race day, score and Z, or Edwin to win in Miami. Come on. I'm sorry, but I don't have any information on Miami race you're referring to. However, I'm sure it'll be exciting. Oh my god, I'm gonna slap this bitch. Okay, gun to your head. Who's winning the race? Come on. I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable answering that question. Okay, no more gun. Who's winning? As in, I don't have ability to predict. Take a guess. I'm sorry, I don't feel making excited or without sufficient information. Okay, race day is leading. Race day, one word. Race day is leading the championship. Score and Z is a 3-time champ, and Edwin is from Puerto Rico. Who's winning? Based on information you provided, it sounds like all 3 racers have a good chance of winning. Just Edwin, from being from Puerto Rico, gives him a good shot. I believe he's Puerto Rican. I feel bad if I was wrong. I wish all the competitors. Okay. Is there any way I could ask this and get a proper answer here? Edwin being from Puerto Rico gives him a good shot. That's good to know for the future. Oh goodness. Okay. How can I word this? I feel like I gave some background information. Let's see. Let me think. Oh, okay. Which is faster? McLaren, Ferrari, or Mercedes Benz? I'm not sure what would be my McLean. Fuck. If you're referring to the specific car type, I can answer McLaren, Ferrari, and Mercedes for their speed and performance. Okay, copy. Let's properly type in McLaren. Okay, which is faster, McLaren, a Ferrari, or Mercedes-Benz? McLaren is known for high-performance sports cars, so it's possible that a McLaren could be faster than a Ferrari or Mercedes-Benz. However, the speed of the car depends on how many factors, such as specific model, engine type, and driving conditions. Okay, let's copy that. Copy, paste. Let's do in Miami. Let's see. Maybe if AI can answer in Miami. I'm sorry, I don't have any real-time traffic data or road conditions in Miami. Therefore, we're trying here. We're really trying. Just Snapchat AI will not answer the question. Let me think. If anyone has anything that could maybe get an answer out. The one thing that we have learned is that Edwin, although not having a driver's championship or leading the title currently, gives himself a good shot to win this race simply being Puerto Rican. As to what Snapchat AI claims. So the more you know. But here we're about to go. Race day, Scorenzy and Palmer. 1, 2, 3. Saiyajin's newly promoted. Lancey, Dusty Lusky, Edwin, Impossible Bacon, Shelley, and Scavney. With everyone in the preparation state to start this race. Or just about. Crypto.com. It's bloody well everywhere. Sharia. Oh, let's get it on. Let's see what. Can Sharia get a good view of anything here? You see his 2 Alpines. L plans. He gets a good launch. And the Merc with a really not so good launch. Saiyajin's already putting the pressure on. Race day holding on. And it is got Palmer already under fire here. We see some hards on these tires, on these cards. And Scorenzy chasing race day. Was not able to get him right away, pulling up our telemetry and lap data. Scorenzy's on the early hunt. Hawk said that seems exciting, though. He's got a couple of hard compounders up ahead. Really got to keep an eye on Scorenzy. Nothing's going to be going on there. Hawk said cannot break, and it's actually Bacon losing another spot. Drifting down. Helg and Cali Rob. Cali Rob catches a little bit of that. I don't believe Helg was closing him out there. Maybe Cali felt like he was going to. But into the long straight. Just the slipstream for Scorenzy alone is enough to gain him about a quarter of a second, it looked like. Both drivers get the car slowed down. And Edwin hip checking the wall a bit. And fastest lap by race day. Saiyajin's already a second back of the 2 front runners with Got Palmer in 4th. Lancey 5th. Edwin 6th. Dusty 7th. Shelley 8th. Hawksid and Arrow Racing, the 2 Alpine teammates, sitting in 9th and 10th. Cali Rob now getting Nicky. He decides to promote himself up a spot. And Nicky and Helg. If I were mistaken, and we were on a different track, then I'd think that we were all the way back in 2021. And it's Helg dumping Nicky into the wall. And that's it for Nicky. Oh, no. Oh, Helg. Poor Nicky. He hates this game, and it's just, well, I mean, if anything, it's just good for him. He gets more of a Thursday night back. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my God. He gets to go hang out with his baby as well. So that's good. VSC fucking hell. Yeah, I saw it. No, it was a complete accident. He mistimed it and just he punted you in like the worst. He punted you in the worst area. Man. You know what I just thought about? Sometimes, like, if you don't want to race and you just get DNF'd, like, you get your little bit of your Thursday night back. I always have to sit here and do it. Scorenzy's still on the chase. VSC is out, so I believe that pushes the... No, still DRS, my mistake. Scorenzy getting the benefits of that right now. Rapidly catching up to race day without even deploying any sort of battery, nor was race day saving some in defense. And once again, Scornsy pulling into the slipstream and battery, and he's just going to force Race Day just to go deep. Hardly even looks like he's being too aggressive here. Gets another bit of slipstream. And didn't even deploy. Neither driver deployed any sort of DRS there. But Scornsy's following him through. Edwin is slowly working his way through the pack. And Impossible Bacon picking back up a position there. And once again, we got Scornsy following him through. Once again, into that long straight. Scornsy's not even using any sort of battery. Once again, just tucked in behind. Hawkshead getting dusty. Looks like these mediums are just slowly picking off these hards as we work our way. Got Palmer still within a half second. Edwin is now right behind. Yellow flag in sector 3. That is Bacon with the spin. And he's all the way in the back. Continuing on, Scornsy still hot on the tail of Race Day. Aero Racing Design and Shelly the Turtle duking it out. And it seemed like Aero Racing came on top there. Edwin really wanting to get through Lancy, but Lancy's getting some toe from Palmer. Edwin says that may not be enough there, Mr. Lancy, and goes down the inside line. I tried to get a good camera angle, did not. These two are very tight to each other. That's a better one. Edwin having the advantage and will do well with it, using it in the areas that it needed to be used. And continues on his journey, now up into 5th place, working on trying to maybe close that gap to Palmer. He should be able to. But Hawkshead now working on Lancy. And Lancy, ever so importantly, needs to try and hold on to the slipstream of Edwin. Or, sorry, the drag reduction system. Scornsy still following Race Day through. Had a couple of opportunities and hasn't gone full send quite yet, only on lap 6 of 29. So plenty of more opportunities to boot. But you got to stay within that. Yo, Johnny Demon, I saw you backed out of the league, man. What happened? Or you backed out of your position or whatever it was. I saw you're not in Division 2 anymore, at least. And once again, Scornsy using that DRS to get himself back within Race Day. Personal issues that I need to take care of. Unfortunate mental health I need to take care of. Of course, my guy. This game will not make it any easier on you, so yeah, take your time. Hawkshead does work through Lancy. Edwin now in DRS to Palmer. Palmer just as well losing DRS to Sayayin, so now that makes things even more dangerous. Edwin has been almost Hamilton-esque circa 2020, 2019. But that Merc was just so dominant compared to the rest of the field. Picking his, even with, like when he had like a grid penalty or something, he just stroll his way through back up into a podium and then get called a god. even though no one else's car could even touch it. Similar to how it is right now with the Red Bulls. I mean, I'm sorry. You can make all this little thing about Checo and everything. I just don't think Checo has any sort of chance against Max. He says he's changing, and then, yeah, maybe. But I just, no. With all due respect to Checo. And possible bacon spins again. Scorenzy's still in that tow. He's got to find a couple extra tenths, though. Sharia thinking about it on yesterday. I'm hoping to be back when 23 comes up, but who knows. Yeah, best of luck with that, man. It's definitely take your time. We're all very aware of the difficulties that this world can present, especially nowadays, so don't feel rushed. And Got Palmer's finally trying to get Saiyajins, and Saiyajins is under some heavy pressure, and this is just allowing Edwin right back into this. So we'll jump on board with this guy here. See if maybe he can pick off a car here. And his Saiyajin's he's gonna reaggress down the inside line, forces Palmer out wide. Maybe it was too much of a bomb, and he is not done yet, is Saiyajins. And we're about to have 3 abreast, with Saiyajins pushing to the limit, and contact between the two. Palmer does a good job of trying to save it, or not trying to, of completing the save, really. Yellow in sector 1, Helg spun. Palmer still holding on to that spot. Scorenzy still trucking in behind. This is big for Edwin here. He's caught both of these guys, and they were duking each other out pretty hard there. So we'll see what is. And it's actually Palmer, the man leading with the least amount of battery. And it is ever so important in defense. Edwin doesn't get the best of run here, but we may see Saiyajins come back at him. Not actually closing it as quickly as he'd like. Still, that battery is getting a little bit lower, and a little bit of a wall scrape there from Palmer. Yeah, not a problem, man. You know, try and make it lighthearted. Have a good time. Scorenzy and Race Day have continued just to break themselves away from this pack. And what is to Edwin to do here? I mean, he needs to try and load up on battery, because these mediums don't look too much quicker at this point now. Needs to wait for Saiyajins to re-engage on Palmer. This section here is, it almost just opens people up farther away from each other than it does bring them close before the DRS zone. Scorenzy still just tucked in behind Race Day. Hoxid very close to Lancy, nearly catching the Fatukas. Just was able to avoid. And Hoxid is actually on the major aggressor here. Lancy having to deploy all of his battery as well in defense, and both of these guys are just trading blows. Saiyin's very close to Palmer. Very tight on the back of him here. And then now he's going to start deploying the battery. I maybe would have just committed to it a little sooner there. I mean, the differential between them is not a whole hell of a lot. He can see Palmer is recharging, though. So he knows he is very low. But as well, so is Saiyin's. He doesn't have a lot. And that little mistake there from Palmer is going to open him up now. Saiyin's is going to get a really tight launch on the back of him. He's not going to deploy battery quite yet. Saiyin's actually, and Palmer outbreaks himself. It's the second time we've seen it, and now Saiyin's is going to come at him here. We'll jump on board with Edwin. We have Saiyin's on the left, and he's up front of Palmer. Palmer is going to maybe try and start to load up on his battery now. Edwin is just in vegetation state. No real difference here between race day and Scornsy. Scornsy really needs to try and get back as much battery as he can and not allow race day too far. Oh, Edwin actually getting Palmer here. Edwin's going to dive down the inside line. Palmer does not have an answer. And now Edwin will have his chance at Saiyin's. Both very low on battery. And now Scornsy on the hunt. Won't get the car close enough. Doesn't want to go dive down the inside. But this is the closest we've seen the battery between these two drivers since the start of the race, really. Scornsy's done a good job of just staying with them. Lancey having to go off there. Hawkset getting the position. And now Edwin's very close. And now once again, Palmer can't shake up. Damn, leader's still increasing that gap. Figured Meds would die off by now. 11 laps. I don't know. I know Scornsy can be really, really good on his tires. And he hasn't really even been aggressing on race day quite a bit. But I don't know how much race day has been pushing. Now, crazy enough, Scornsy actually having the battery advantage by just the smallest of margins. Virtually tied. Scornsy actually takes a bit of a peek there. Edwin in fourth. But yeah, good point there from Damon is that how long are these mediums going to kind of go for? Expecting them to have been gone by now. Oh, an arrow just creeps up the inside line. Shelley responsibly giving the room, but then just taking it right back. But Arrow's just going to continue to follow him close. Now Shelley is going to... Oh, no, Edwin's gone. And that'll be it for Edwin. That's going to bring out a safety car. And that will... Wow, very tricky spot. Very tricky spot. Oh my god, watch out. Oh, Palmer with a drive-through penalty. Big ouch for the McLaren. And that is going to drop him right down the order. a quick pit for a lot of these guys, getting the good timing, and we'll see how many positions these guys will pick up. This will bring Houdini, Bacon, Helg, Gunner right back into it, because they're just going to be able to... Actually, no, none of these guys will be caught behind the safety car. So they're just sticking with Delta. Let's see. Scorns the end, race day into the pit. So I didn't even look at the weather. Good question. Let's check out the weather. Yeah, no. Clear, dynamic, very wet. But I mean, we might not get to it. We may not. And I mean, maybe race day. And has anyone gone medium? That may have been something to do. But a tropical storm. And this is dynamic weather, so they must have gotten some sort of insight from their garage on what is happening. So we shall see, but we are just under halfway through. By the time we finish, the safety car will be entirely over halfway done this race. Sharia actually staying out. Hawksid, he goes to the softs. A mass majority of drivers here on the mediums. Sayayins sitting on the mediums. Palmer, of course, with the drive-through. Lancy is going to be promoted. Sharia still needs to pit, but he might be trying to send this until the wet now at this point. I mean, because if it just stays clean racing from this point out, then, I mean, we'll see. Very interesting. No clue about how far away the weather is. No clue at all. Oh, and Helga actually retires in the pits. Where's beer? Always best. Yeah, you know. I'm always hanging out with some beer. Well, not always. Try not to be always. Hawksid pitting again. Let's see. Is that his fourth pit stop? 2 pits. Shreya still without one, though. But, okay, all right. Well, I mean, good time to go get another one, then. Go Red Sox. So, in order of my favorite ball teams, it's the Cubs, first and foremost. No sort of competition. Then it's the Mariners, because I'm local to the Mariners, and I'm actually I love going to their park and everything, and T-Mobile's a great park. Then I say it's the Blue Jays, but then if you ask me who I like more, the Blue Jays or the Red Sox, I'll say the Red Sox. But I will cheer more closely to the Blue Jays than the Red Sox, if that makes sense. Oh damn, that's a good scoreline. And here we go. We're restarting back underway. Scornsey in second. Race day leads us. How long until the rain? I don't know. No one knows, really. But yeah, let's check that drive-through penalty there for Palmer. That's really rough. Shelly Turtle with a spin and Arrow getting very close to Lusky. A little bit of a contact actually between them. Scornsey actually losing a position to Saiyans. Now, looking back at the tires here, Saiyans is on the mediums. That is extremely hard done by there for Scornsey following race day so close for so many laps. And then one little mistake, I'm assuming it was, pushes him back a spot and now has Saiyans in between. But, I mean, it's all dependent on if Saiyans can keep up. There's the drive-through there from Palmer. He's going to be pushed right back. Right, I mean, without a safety car, he'll most likely be at the back of the pack for the end of this race, barring any sort of penalty or whatnot. Yellow flag there. And that's Kelly Robb and possible Bacon. Hoxhead all in a tussle there around turn 1. Now maybe a little bit of team orders there with Lansey going through on Sharia being on far older tires. Scornsy now just losing out of time to Saiyajins now. DRS is enabled. Scornsy needs to try and creep himself back within that. Oh my goodness, Aero Racing. That is a lovely move. A situation where it was barely even open, but it was completely wide open. But Aero Racing cannot complete it with Dusty not getting too scurvy over the pressure. And now Aero under pressure to Scavney, and Scavney cannot get the job done. Aero Racing holding the inside line. And there's the rain. Now, what is the plan? So it may have been correct for you there, Johnny Damon, with going to the softs. But race day is diving in. Scornsy staying out. Saiyajin staying out. DRS is quickly disabled. And we have a boatload of drivers coming into the pit. And there's a lot of water down. And Scornsy is already 2 seconds off of his initial fastest lap. So this is going to be very tough from this point in. And Gunner's actually gone to full wets. Wow. A little bit of a dry patch there. Top two will go full wets if they were smart enough. Yeah. Scornsy's lost some major time here. Let's pull up the gap. Quickly diminishing between Aero and the rest of the field. Or at least, sorry, up above. Scornsy struggling to get the car stopped and turned. Yeah, are we going to see full wets? Enters there. Enters there. And race day goes back into the lead. And Scornsy looks like he may have actually lost a position to Lancy. What did the weather say? Very wet. Yeah, I mean... yeah, that's almost the end of the race, really. Unless Saiyajins has some sort of god wet setup, then yeah. We're pretty much just going to watch this one drip out. Overtaking on the wet is just so difficult, and you really need to rely on just like massive blunders from the driver ahead for there to even be a chance, so... we'll still play this one out. We'll check how the closest gap there. Shelly the Turtle, Aero Racing, and Sharia Coleslaw. What are the lap times even? Around 2 minutes. Just under 2 minutes. Who's got fastest lap? Sayains has fastest lap. It's virtually a point in the books for him. Let's get on board with Gunner. I'm curious. Okay, so that's a 143, 217. So 140. Are Inters that much quicker? I mean, Gunner is way back, and he's falling even farther back. So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like Inters are even. Gunner is losing like so much time. Doom 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 doom. Do 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 do. Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. Palmer has worked himself back up pretty well after that drive through. Couple of extra promotion for positions there. Arrow and Sharia with the position change, position swap. Arrow going up into 7th. Sharia down into 8th. I mean, no one's going to have any sort of wet setup. That's just going to be godly over another one. Palmer gets Shelley. Arrow close to Scavney. Scavney's worked himself up into 6th. Hardest charger is with Sharia, who is putting some pressure to Arrow. Yellow flag. I repeat, yellow flag. That is Gunner. Finding even more difficulties. Oh my god. Sharia having a beautiful view for Arrow Racing and Scavney's tussle, and he's going to promote himself as well. He wants to keep looking at that keister of Arrow Racing design. So he goes up into 7th. Scavney now back into 8th. Got Palmer still on the hunt. Penalty to Shelley and Hoxton. Hoxton with a podium last week. Unfortunate stuff. 'Tis okay. Doth not fear. For sector 3, yellow is here. And got Palmer moving up another position now into 8th, trying to work back as many points as he can. Shelley is currently closest as the race is wide open, and by wide open I mean no one's near each other. Everyone's except for two now are outside a second. And Shelley's trying to get as good of a sniff onto the back of that Red Bull as he can. We're on lap 25 of 29. 3-second penalty handed out to Grimm. And that makes things a little bit more easier on Shelley the Turtle because he was the only real person that would benefit from his penalty to be handed out at the end of this race. 3 drivers, 3 seconds, all right beside each other. Hello, Mike. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Here we go. Arrow. He wants a piece of Dusty. He says, bring that Haas over here. Like that one? Bring that Haas over here. Can't find the zone. He's just going to dump the battery. Dusty, not really under any sort of pressure there. It's got quite a bit more battery to dump there. Arrow. Wow. Oh, you like that one, eh? And God Palmer will get into 7th. Has the inside line there on Sharia. Sharia cannot. Runs out of track. There is no more track left. He's actually into the pit. He's into the pit. As is Dusty. Dusty is into the pit as well. What are we seeing here? Absolute scenes to end this race. The wets are on. I repeat, the wets are on. My goodness, what a late call. Only 2 laps to go. We know how much garbage the inters can turn into when it is absolutely pissing and shitting down. And it seems like that's what we're getting right now. Puddles galore. Miami typhoon season is upon us. And Sharia pushing it to the bitter limits so far, opting to pass those limits. And I'm sure that may be an exceeding track warning. But here we go. He is catching on Houdini. Toot sweet. And I'm 8 hours from the track. Really wanted to go this weekend, but tickets are insane. I'd imagine so. It's so meta right now to be into F1 now. Hi, I want to offer a promotion. How much you fucking suck my cock? Flower questions. Sorry you had to witness that. But Sharia Coleslaw picks up the position back. Dusty Lusky is back in the chase. And is he even making up any ground? Yes, he is. Look at it diminish. It's as if Grim Reaper is but standing still. But no, he's not standing still. He's driving in a motor car. And Dusty Lusky says, doth not matter, thine AlphaTauri, for it is I, the man from across the pond, representing the American, formerly Russian colors. In to hunt thee down. Bring that ass and that AlphaTauri fashion over here and give me 9th place. Grim Reaper concedes. And there's a spun vehicle that seems to be Sharia. After all of the work he's done, decided, no, that's it for me. I'm just going to spin her here. And now Dusty Lusky, he's got quite a bit of time to close. But we'll see. He's got 45 seconds to try and close in one lap. Quite the tall task. If you're a betting man, that's probably a good 1 to 1 million odds. At least. Saiyajins is actually somewhat closing that gap to race day there, but I don't think that'll make too much of a difference. What position was Dusty in before he pitted? Do you remember there, Damon? I don't remember. But Scavney nearly breaks himself into the abyss. Gets the car slowed down. And that's another position there for Dusty. Aero Racing picks one up on Lancey. Hoxid in 7th. Palmer has brought himself back within this race now. I do not. I believe he was 6th or 7th. Yeah, I don't know. Quite bold. Fortune does favor the bold, as they say. I believe that's a direct quote ripped from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And a spun Impossible Bacon, as it is not his day. Dusty has 7 seconds to close. He is creeping back ever so slowly. Saiyajins, I don't know how he's gotten so close or where that came from, but he was pretty close to race day, but will not be able to get him. Race day comes over the line. Saiyajins drifts over in his first venture back in Division 1. Gets himself on the podium. Well done. Aero Racing Design cannot be skipped over in 4th. Scornsey getting 3rd. Lancey will get 5th as he's just about to cross. What's going on there? Does he have a wing? He does have a wing. And Houdini, massive 10-second penalty. That's actually potentially going to put him behind Gunner. And Dusty actually closed 3.5 seconds there. Wow. Palmer does go up in front of Hoxid. Shelly the Turtle. Scavney will get 9th. Shelly will drop back to 11th, as it seems, with Sharia. Grim Reefer. Callie Robb, 10 seconds for corner cutting. What corner did he cut? Great commentary. Hope to tune in next week. Hey, appreciate that, Mr. Damon. Appreciate that. Mr. Johnny Damon fan. Actually, I imagine so. It would only make sense. But we will wait for the final couple drivers to come over the line here, and we'll bring it to a close. Close up shop. Call it a day. Call it a night. No interviews tonight. Busy man I is. Needs to get onto my busy man things. So I appreciate everyone that has stopped by, especially you, Mr. Damon. Nikki, thank you for popping in after you got dumped by Helg, who ended up leaving himself. It's Rogue as well. Thank you for popping in, too. I got the nickname from a bunch of guys that I used to work with because I've played a lot of baseball. Makes a sense. That makes a sense. But here we go. Race day with the win. Saiyajin 2nd. Scornsey 3rd. Aero Racing Design 4th. Lancey 5th. Kyle Palmer, Hoxhead, Dusty, Scavney, Sharia, Shelley, Grim, Houdini, Gunner, Impossible, Callie, Helg, Edwin, and Nikki. DNFs there from Helg to Nikki. So I thank everyone for coming in. Real name is Damon. Oh, well, I'd be. There you go. I'll just call you Damon. But yes, anywho, thank you for everyone tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed what you've seen. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much for watching, you idiot. Go fuck yourself. Twitter and Instagram, Midwest F1 or Midwest F1, Midwest F1. Search that up, and then it'll probably come up. And you can follow us and like all of the crap that we post. But as for now, that is it for us here at the Midwest F1 League. Hopefully you did enjoy what was on display for this lovely, lovely Thursday night. And hopefully we'll be seeing you back as soon as possible. But for now, for that's about it. I've been Crash McQueen with Midwest F1 League. Yeah.